The last time I had the dream, I was walking down the school hallway, and then I see Butters, and he's like, "Hey, Eric, you want to see what my mom packed me for lunch?"
Rachel Zegler is suing South Park creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone for $100 million in defamation after a controversial parody episode, Woke White.
We know that Trey Parker and Matt Stone, they are really trying to go all in when it comes to many of the events that occurred in 2024 and things that are beginning to unfold in 2025 for this upcoming new DEI special that they are planning to debut by this August. Now, with the Walt Disney Company still engaging in damage control for their upcoming
mocked Disney's 2025 Snow White remake. The episode portrayed a character resembling Zegler as self-absorbed and politically extreme. The lawsuit raises questions about the limits of satire and defamation, with some arguing that South Park crossed a line, while others defend it as sharp commentary on modern celebrity culture and Hollywood's obsession with political correctness. Rachel Zegler, already under intense scrutiny for her role as Snow White in Disney's 2025 remake, was no stranger to controversy. But when South Park creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone decided to parody her in the film in an episode, things took a drastic turn.
No, make it more lame. That is exactly what they're doing. And that is why we hate the diversity, equity, and inclusion casting and writing in movies.
The episode, which aired just after the movie's release, satirized the entire Snow White remake, featuring a scathing portrayal of Zegler herself. What was initially seen as typical South Park humor soon spiraled into something far more personal, with Zegler publicly expressing her outrage. Fans were divided. Some argued that the parody was typical satire, while others pointed to the boundary-pushing nature of South Park as going too far. What many didn't realize, however, was that this wasn't just about comedy. It was the beginning of a legal battle that would make headlines for months. Zegler, a rising star, suddenly found herself at the center of a media storm, accused by some of overreacting to a satirical piece of content. The response from South Park fans was swift, with some even mocking Zegler's reaction as proof that she couldn't take a joke. But as the situation escalated, questions began to surface about the deeper reasons behind the actress's decision to pursue legal action. When Rachel Zegler filed a $100 million defamation lawsuit against Trey Parker and Matt Stone, it caught the entertainment world off guard. Zegler, known for her outspoken social media presence, accused the creators of South Park of portraying her in a damaging and defamatory light. The episode, which was aired just weeks after the Snow White remake, featured a grotesque and exaggerated depiction of Zegler's character with a clear intention to mock her performance and persona. However, the question many fans were asking was whether this kind of parody fell within the bounds of free speech or if it crossed a line. Zegler's legal team argued that the portrayal not only hurt her reputation, but had lasting effects on her career. Rumors began circulating that Zegler's camp had gathered evidence from industry insiders, claiming that her professional reputation was tarnished by the South Park episode. What many didn't know was that there was a quiet undercurrent of tension between Zegler and the creators of South Park for months leading up to the lawsuit. Some speculated that Zegler had long been frustrated with Hollywood's treatment of her, particularly following the backlash from the Snow White project. Sources close to the actress whispered about her emotional toll from the pressure of the role, and it seemed that the South Park incident was the tipping point for her.
Now, I'm guessing that she's not married. I'm guessing that she doesn't have kids. The movie is a complete disaster, by the way.
Rachel Zegler, she's an...
Rachel Zegler is extraordinarily woke, but she's woke in a way that's quite...
The public's reaction to Rachel Zegler's legal battle was divided, with both sides of the argument gaining passionate supporters. On one hand, some felt that South Park's parody crossed a line, especially given the personal nature of the satire. After all, South Park has a long history of making fun of public figures, but this time, the attack seemed more targeted and less about the general themes of the film itself. Others, however, viewed Zegler's response as overly sensitive, arguing that Hollywood stars often have to endure such parodies as part of the job. The media frenzy surrounding the lawsuit was relentless, with headlines constantly updating the public on the latest developments. What caught the public's attention was how much Zegler's personal life was being dragged into the conversation. Rumors about her struggles with the film's Backlash, as well as her emotional reaction to the South Park episode, spread like wildfire. Industry insiders whispered that this lawsuit wasn't just about one episode, it was about Zegler's larger frustrations with the entertainment industry's treatment of her. Speculation ran rampant, with some suggesting that the actress might be using the lawsuit as a way to reclaim her narrative, in a world where public perception often dictates career success. Zegler's social media presence only fueled the fire, with her cryptic posts leaving fans and critics alike wondering about the true motivations behind the legal battle. As Rachel Zegler's lawsuit against South Park continued to gain momentum, the media began to question the long-term impact of such a high-profile legal battle on her career. While some fans continued to rally behind her, others felt that her actions could lead to irreparable damage in an already volatile Hollywood environment. Rumors began to surface that major production companies were hesitant to work with Zegler, fearing that her legal crusade would bring unnecessary controversy to any project she was involved in. Some industry insiders even suggested that her decision to file the lawsuit was a sign of deeper insecurities about her place in the Hollywood hierarchy. The actress, who had initially gained attention through her breakout role in West Side Story, was now facing the possibility of being typecast as the troublemaker of Hollywood, a label that could haunt her for years. It's been speculated that there was growing concern among her management team about the lasting impact of the lawsuit on her public image. Zegler's fans, however, maintained a fierce loyalty, arguing that the actress was merely standing up for herself in a world that often exploits its stars. The lawsuit may have also sparked a larger conversation about the blurred lines between satire and defamation, with many questioning whether parody should be free from legal consequences.
Snow White is the first American feature-length animated movie. 1937. It's one of the most beloved movies of all.
While the legal proceedings unfolded, there was no shortage of speculation about what might have truly driven Rachel Zegler to take such drastic action. Some fans speculated that the lawsuit was less about the episode itself and more about Zegler's broader dissatisfaction with the entertainment industry's treatment of her. After all, the South Park parody wasn't the first time Zegler had faced public criticism. Rumors had circulated for months about her struggles with the media and the pressure of starring in such a high-profile film. Some sources close to the actress hinted that Zegler had been pushed to her breaking point after months of negative press about her portrayal of Snow White. Reports claimed that the actress felt targeted by media outlets and that the South Park episode was the final straw in a series of incidents that left her feeling humiliated and misunderstood. The timing of the lawsuit also raised eyebrows. Was it just coincidental, or was there a larger strategy at play? Speculation suggested that Zegler might have been seeking to shift the public narrative in her favor, using the lawsuit as a way to reclaim control of her image. In a world where celebrities often struggle to navigate the murky waters of media coverage, some believe that Zegler's legal battle could be a calculated move to shape her career in the future. As the lawsuit continued its lengthy journey through the court system, both sides prepared for a fierce courtroom battle. The media attention surrounding the case only intensified, with both Trey Parker and Matt Stone's legal teams, as well as Zegler's team publicly sparring over the terms of the lawsuit. Some legal experts speculated that Zegler's case might be difficult to win, given the First Amendment protections afforded to satire and parody. However, the actress and her legal team were determined to make their case, arguing that South Park had crossed a line by attacking her personally rather than focusing on the larger issues at play. What many didn't know, however, was the immense pressure that Zegler felt during the proceedings. Sources close to her revealed that she was emotionally drained by the constant media scrutiny and the public's harsh judgment. Some fans began to wonder if Zegler was truly committed to winning the case, or if, in some way, she was hoping to use the legal battle as a platform for greater recognition and empowerment. The court battle wasn't just about money, it was about controlling her image and sending a message to the entertainment world that she wouldn't let herself be mocked without consequence. What became clear was that the case was likely to set a precedent for how celebrities could challenge the boundaries of satire and defamation, sparking debates about the limits of parody in the digital age. The ramifications of Rachel Zegler's lawsuit against South Park were felt across the entertainment industry. While her fans continued to support her, some executives and industry insiders began to question her long-term viability as a leading actress in Hollywood. Rumors suggested that several major studios had pulled back from working with Zegler, citing concerns that her ongoing legal battle could be too divisive for potential film projects. The question loomed: would she be blacklisted from certain opportunities due to the public nature of the lawsuit? There was also talk of studios favoring safer, less controversial stars who wouldn't bring this kind of attention to their films. On the flip side, some believed that Zegler's fierce determination and public outcry could lead to future opportunities for roles where her strong-willed persona would be seen as an asset rather than a liability. Yet, speculation swirled that she might also face typecasting as a problematic star in a town that thrives on conformity. Industry insiders claimed that some of Zegler's upcoming projects were quietly being reevaluated, with executives unsure if she was worth the potential drama. As her legal battle continued, it became clear that Zegler's future in Hollywood might not be as secure as she had hoped, and that the fallout from the lawsuit would be felt in every aspect of her career. Rachel Zegler's social media presence played a crucial role in shaping the public narrative of her lawsuit against South Park. Known for her outspoken and often controversial posts, Zegler used her platforms to vent her frustration with the parody episode, as well as the ensuing backlash she faced from the media and fans. But her online behavior only fueled the fire, with some critics accusing her of playing the victim for the sake of attention. Fans, on the other hand, rallied behind her, creating a divide in the social media space. The hashtag #Justice for Rachel began trending, with many defending Zegler's right to stand up for herself. However, the actress's tweets and Instagram stories also attracted sharp criticism, with some followers claiming she was fueling a drama that could easily be resolved with a more measured response. The rapid-fire nature of social media debates only heightened the tension, with Zegler often responding in ways that felt impulsive to many. Meanwhile, some sources close to Zegler revealed that she was deeply affected by the comments, even deleting certain posts after receiving significant backlash. This raised questions about whether her social media persona was genuine or merely a product of frustration in the face of relentless public criticism. Rumors about her social media activity being managed by a team of PR experts surfaced, with whispers that Zegler was being encouraged to engage in more calculated, less emotional posts, moving forward to shift public perception. Rachel Zegler's portrayal of Snow White in Disney's 2025 remake had already been a lightning rod for controversy before the South Park episode aired. The film, which was intended to modernize the classic tale, faced intense criticism for deviating too far from the original Disney animated version. Zegler, who was cast in the iconic role, found herself at the center of the storm, with fans and critics alike questioning her casting. Some accused Disney of being overly woke, while others claimed that Zegler's performance lacked the charm and innocence that made Snow White a beloved character. Behind the scenes, sources revealed that Zegler was struggling to reconcile the pressures of public expectations with her own artistic vision for the role. Meanwhile, rumors circulated that Disney was aware of the backlash but chose not to intervene, hoping that the controversy would ultimately generate enough buzz to drive ticket sales. Zegler's personal frustration with the public's reaction was said to have been compounded by the studio's silence, leaving her feeling abandoned and unsupported. Some believed that this tension contributed to her emotional state during the South Park incident, fueling her decision to take legal action. The combination of her dissatisfaction with Disney and the added pressure from the parody episode only made her case more complex and contentious, creating a whirlwind of media and fan commentary that would continue to haunt her career. Rachel Zegler's social media presence played a crucial role in shaping the public narrative of her lawsuit against South Park. Known for her outspoken and often controversial posts, Zegler used her platforms to vent her frustration with the Parody episode, as well as the ensuing backlash she faced from the media and fans. But her online behavior only fueled the fire, with some critics accusing her of playing the victim for the sake of attention. Fans, on the other hand, rallied behind her, creating a divide in the social media space. The hashtag #Justice for Rachel began trending, with many defending Zegler's right to stand up for herself. However, the actress's tweets and Instagram stories also attracted sharp criticism, with some followers claiming she was fueling a drama that could easily be resolved with a more measured response. The rapid-fire nature of social media debates only heightened the tension, with Zegler often responding in ways that felt impulsive to many. Meanwhile, some sources close to Zegler revealed that she was deeply affected by the comments, even deleting certain posts after receiving significant backlash. This raised questions about whether her social media persona was genuine or merely a product of frustration in the face of relentless public criticism. Rumors about her social media activity being managed by a team of PR experts surfaced, with whispers that Zegler was being encouraged to engage in more calculated, less emotional posts moving forward to shift public perception. Rachel Zegler's portrayal of Snow White in Disney's 2025 remake had already been a lightning rod for controversy before the South Park episode aired. The film, which was intended to modernize the classic tale, faced intense criticism for deviating too far from the original Disney animated version. Zegler, who was cast in the iconic role, found herself at the center of the storm, with fans and critics alike questioning her casting. Some accused Disney of being overly woke, while others claimed that Zegler's performance lacked the charm and innocence that made Snow White a beloved character. Behind the scenes, sources revealed that Zegler was struggling to reconcile the pressures of public expectations with her own artistic vision for the role. Meanwhile, rumors circulated that Disney was aware of the backlash, but chose not to intervene, hoping that the controversy would ultimately generate enough buzz to drive ticket sales. Zegler's personal frustration with the public's reaction was said to have been compounded by the studio's silence, leaving her feeling abandoned and unsupported. Some believe that this tension contributed to her emotional state during the South Park incident, fueling her decision to take legal action. The combination of her dissatisfaction with Disney and the added pressure from the Parody episode only made her case more complex and contentious, creating a whirlwind of media and fan commentary that would continue to haunt her career. While Rachel Zegler's legal battle with South Park grabbed headlines, there were whispers about an even deeper issue lurking beneath the surface: her growing tension with Disney itself. Some insiders speculated that Zegler's relationship with the studio had been strained long before the South Park Parody episode aired. While Disney remained publicly supportive of their star, behind closed doors, there were growing concerns about her role in the Snow White remake and how her public persona was affecting the film's success. Sources close to the production claimed that Zegler's portrayal of Snow White was not well received by key Disney executives, who felt that her performance didn't align with their vision for the character. Additionally, there were rumors that Disney had been pressuring Zegler to downplay her personal opinions on social media, but the actress had allegedly refused to conform to their expectations. This led some to believe that Zegler's legal action against South Park could be an indirect response to her growing frustration with the studio and their lack of support. Speculation suggested that Zegler might be seeking to distance herself from Disney, hoping to build a more independent career moving forward. While this was unconfirmed, the ongoing tension between Zegler and the studio was seen as a contributing factor to her increasingly combative approach to the South Park controversy. Some even hinted that Zegler's lawsuit could be the first step in her effort to sever ties with the entertainment giant, which would have huge implications for her future in the industry. The media's involvement in the legal battle between Rachel Zegler and South Park was pivotal in shaping public opinion. News outlets, gossip blogs, and social media platforms were all quick to amplify the story, often sensationalizing the details for clicks. The press painted Zegler as a determined young actress, fighting back against one of the most well-known and controversial animated shows on TV. However, as the media frenzy grew, it became clear that the narrative was not so black and white. Some reports claimed that Zegler's legal action was not only a reaction to the parody episode, but also a way to gain sympathy from fans and boost her public image after the backlash surrounding Snow White. There were even rumors suggesting that her legal team had been feeding the media certain angles to garner public support. On the flip side, South Park fans and critics accused Zegler of being hypersensitive and unable to take a joke. Some believed that her legal fight was turning her into a snowflake, making her the subject of even more mockery. This divided the media coverage, with some outlets siding with her and others accusing her of trying to silence satire. Behind the scenes, it was said that both Zegler's and South Park's teams were closely monitoring the media's portrayal of the case, trying to steer public opinion in their favor. For Zegler, it seemed that the constant media attention only added more fuel to the fire, with some speculating that the actress was either becoming more disillusioned or, conversely, enjoying the spotlight. As the lawsuit reached its final stages, the question on everyone's mind was what the eventual outcome would be. Would Zegler win her $100 million claim and set a groundbreaking precedent for celebrities suing over defamation? Or would the case be dismissed and Zegler left to navigate the fallout of her public battle with a satirical powerhouse like South Park? Speculation ran wild, with some legal analysts predicting that the case would likely be settled out of court to avoid a prolonged and expensive trial. However, others felt that Zegler's commitment to seeing the lawsuit through to the end might force the issue into the spotlight even further. Industry insiders were divided on how this would affect her career. Some believed she'd emerge as a stronger figure in Hollywood, while others feared the controversy might keep her from being seen as a viable leading lady in major productions. What was certain was that Zegler's fight would have long-lasting effects, not just for her own career, but for the entire entertainment industry. This lawsuit represented more than just a celebrity squabble. It was a moment that could redefine the way public figures engage with satire, parody, and defamation in the digital age. As the legal battle neared its end, all eyes remained on the courtroom, waiting to see if the final ruling would reshape the future of celebrity culture forever.